Yo, hey folks, how's it going? It's Kevin here, Big K Horror, and yeah, I want to discuss some of what I consider my favorite science fiction horror films. And I'm talking about strictly horror films that have science fiction elements, not typical sci-fi, because I'm not really into sci-fi, the Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff. I'm not really ever been into all that, but I'm talking about strictly horror movie sci-fi. Okay, so I'm about to start this up. Now, all the movies I'm about to present are ones I'm randomly throwing out in order. There's no order. Like, I'm not doing best from worst to best or best to worst, because these are all the ones I just happen to like, and they're in a stack, and I'm just going to call them out as I go. So there's not like a top one. I love them all, if you get what I'm saying. Alright, so I'm going to begin. First one we'll start out with is a very classic hybrid mid-80s film called Night of the Creeps. Yes, this one. Here's the VHS cover, which I prefer over this cover. Very, very great film by Fred Decker, a classic. It's so well known because it was so well made in the mid-80s, and it combines the zombie subgenre, the alien critter subgenre, and the slasher subgenre all into one film, and the noir, like police detective noir films, all into one film, and it works. It's fucking classic. I love this film. It's one of my favorites. Alright, next up. This came out when I was in high school, my senior year. I mean, I even remember skipping a day of school, or no, I didn't skip a day of school, but I remember leaving school early and skipping my last class with one of the girls I was friends with to go see it my second time. But no, this movie I liked a lot. It's part of the post-Scream revival of horror films, but it was a real fun one, and that is The Faculty. Okay, this was a fun, great teen, like part of the post-teen Scream mashup. This was a great mashup of like horror, aliens, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Thing. It had it all into one movie, all into one setting of high school, and it worked. And I love this film, The Faculty. Okay, I really don't see how anybody can say anything bad about this film. That's just my opinion. All right. So that was a favorite. Alright, so next up. This is my all-time, now I did a recent video of my all-time favorite remakes, and I didn't involve this movie in there, because honestly, with all the remakes I own, and the list I'm trying to comprise in my head, I always leave something off, and I probably left one off in this video too. But, I'm going to give this movie its due now, and that is the 1970s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. No, this movie's how it is done right. We're talking about Donald Sutherland, Jeff Goldblum. You got the great cast, great atmosphere, great directing, pacing, all that. It's one of my favorites, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, talk about ever having the fear of losing oneself. This would be it. Alright, next up. This is a definite alien creature feature type, film nasty, as you'd call it, and that is Extro. Pretty much the plot is about a family, a father, a son, and a mother. The father gets abducted by aliens, and then is gone for about a year, a couple years, I believe, and then he shows back up at home. Things have changed, but he tries to get back into his son's life, and he realizes that he has alien in him now, and a lot of weird paranormal things just begin to happen, like the boys, all his toys, his bedroom come to life, But anyway, it has this really gross scene, and it has some really good gross scenes, some really good special effects. I highly recommend this one for the special effects, practical effects alone of the early 80s. However, I do recommend you not to eat while you watch this movie. Okay? Alright. Next up is probably one of my all-time and my top 10 favorite horror films ever made. This is by the classic John Carpenter. This is a classic alien film at its finest, and that is John Carpenter's 1982 opus, The Thing. His remake from The Thing of Another Planet. Or Thing from Another World. I forget. Thing from Another World, Thing from Another Planet. Anyway, but yeah, this movie is it, man. It. Alright. Next up is it's almost like an analogram, like a homage of every single sci-fi 50s atomic age movie picture that's ever been made, and of the ones from the 80s. So that movie is going to be Slither by James Gunn. Damn good fun movie. Very underrated. It came in the theaters and snuck right out just as fast, but I love this movie. It has everything from the creepy crawly alien slugs to zombies to people eating each other. Like, just has it all. It's fucking awesome. All right. This next one, I wasn't going to include this one, but this one I think does definitely fit the paradigm of what we're talking about with science fiction horror. And I know a lot of people had a problem with this movie because there's also found footage, but I thought it was fucking excellent. I missed out on the theaters seeing this because I didn't give it a chance. And then I saw it 2 years later on DVD, and I was like, oh man, I love this movie. But I'm talking about Cloverfield. All right. Very, very realistic in its portrayal of what would probably happen if there was some sea creature, space creature that came in and attacked New York City. This would probably be it. I loved it. All right. Next up is a very well-known one that I love, and I'm not a fan of the franchise itself, which I know is going to probably make some people pissed off, but it's just the way it is. I'm not. I like the first two. The second one was known for being just strictly a creature feature action film, but this one to me is like a haunted house movie in space. All right, haunted house movie in space, and I'm talking about the original first Alien. Okay. Boom. This is a classic, and I didn't see this movie until about I've been a horror movie fan since 1988. I didn't give this movie a chance, this baby here, a chance until about 2003, 2004. And it was this version I bought here. I think it came out before Alien vs. Predator. Mind blown. I loved it. It's a perfect haunted house movie in space. All right, so I'm down to my last two. Again, this order's there's no order to like which one's my favorite, which one's isn't. Although I already know I have a certain order of which ones I like the better than the others that I just presented. But this would probably be my all-time favorite, and it made my list of all-time favorite remake, and that is The Blob. This movie is just fucking alien hijinks on Earth at its best. All right, the 1988 movie by Chuck Russell, the remake. Love it. All right. Last but not least, creature feature, for the hordes out there. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. If you're into the 80s practical effects, low budget stuff. Plus, if you also love a movie where the lead character is a little kid who is in love with horror films, gotta check this one out, and that is The Deadly Spawn. All right, The Deadly Spawn. These little tadpole alien things get into the basement of this house and begin to kill off people one by one and grow and grow and grow, and it's just a good creature feature. But it's an alien creature feature, but it's a damn good one nonetheless. Alright, so those right there are my list of my favorite science fiction horror films. Now there's ones I purposely left off, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I own it, I love it. It fits into this group, but I just, I recently did a review of that one, so leaving it alone. And there's two. The Being, I've never seen The Being, and I've never seen Inseminoid. So I'm kind of on the outs with those. But as far as all the others, these are my favorite ones. I just get showcased. So anyway, if you're a fan of any of the films showcased, or even if you're not a fan, or if there are other ones that you should recommend to me, I've seen a lot of them. I mean, I'm not new to the horror genre here. I mean, remember, 1988. It's 2013 now. But if there's other ones I left out, which I'm sure there are, give me some to check out sometime. That's in the vein like these. All right, I'm out of here. Peace out.